We're going to be talking about how to have a successful budget meeting with your spouse coming up.
Stay tuned.
Hey, I'm Talib.
Hey, I'm Ty, and we're from hisandhermoney.com.
Where we're helping you to take dominion over your money and your life. This video is being brought to you by Legal & General America.
Legal & General America is a leader in low-cost, high-quality life insurance.
For nearly 70 years, Legal & General America has been providing financial protection to over 1.3 million families and businesses.
LGA makes understanding and applying for life insurance easy.
And agents are standing by to help you find the best coverage to fit your family's needs.
All you have to do is go to hisandhermoney.com/LGA to get a free quote now.
All right, let's talk about it. Listen, if you want to have success in the future financially long term, you're going to have to plan for it. It's not going to happen accidental. It's not going to happen by happenstance. You are going to have to plan, and you're going to have to be consistent.
That's right.
In your planning.
Yes.
And a big part of that is the good old budget meeting.
So many couples either don't do this at all simply because they don't know how to have a successful budget meeting, or they don't make time for it and don't think that it's important. You guys, we're here to tell you that it's extremely important. The only way that Talon and I were able to literally build the business that we have, pay off a $330,000 mortgage in 5 years, right? Get on the same page financially, get out of debt within our first year of marriage, our consumer debt within our first year of marriage. We could not have done it without a budget, without sitting down and preparing our money. You guys, budgeting, everybody should do it, because guess what? The large corporations that you shop at, they don't go without a day, probably even a week, without literally looking over their finances, creating a budget, as well as projecting a plan. So you need to have one for your household as well too. So you definitely want to take notes. We're going to give you 8 tips to do this successfully. The first step is you want to make sure that you set a consistent date, right? If you don't put it down either in writing or put it on your electronic calendars, you guys, it's probably not going to happen. And so for us, we don't like to wait till the very last day of the month in order to sit down and go over our finances. Now, again, I also want to make sure that I mention, when we talk about budget, we're not just talking about those expenses and income. We're going to literally dig a little bit deeper to explain to you guys other things that you all should be doing when you sit down and have your budget meeting. But you want to set a consistent date. This is so important. We highly, highly recommend that you put it on recurring. So pull out your phone, if you use Google Calendar or whatever calendar that you currently use, put it on automatically, right? And we don't like to wait till the very last day of the month, because the very last day of the month can sometimes be very busy, very hectic, and also change from literally month to month, right? There's certain months that have 30 days, certain months that have 31 days. And so what we like to do is set a day within the week. So we'll tell our calendar every 4th or 3rd Thursday, something like that. So look at your calendar, pull it out, discuss it with your spouse, find out which day will probably work best for you, as well as the time. Time of day is also important as well too. Does evenings work when the kids are asleep, or does early in the morning work while you all both are refreshed and have minds to think?
Next, you want to think about your atmosphere, because conversations about money can be tenuous sometimes. They can be great, joyful sometimes, but you want to make sure that the environment gives space to have these conversations. And so one part of this equation is trying to make it as distraction-free as possible. If you have kids, maybe go to a part of the house, maybe even your bedroom with the laptop, or even at the dining room table. Maybe the kids are upstairs or downstairs, but try as much as possible to keep distractions away. Maybe you need to put your phone on do not disturb so that you can put your intention and your focus into the task at hand. In addition to your environment being distraction-free, try to make it fun. This is not dreadful. This is us planning for our future, and our future can be made brighter by the decisions that we make in this meeting. And so allow yourself to look at this as fun. This is us thinking beyond today. This is us giving ourselves strategy to take us to the future.
That's right. The third thing is you want to look at your income. This is so important. You cannot have a budget meeting without first knowing how much money is coming in the household every single month. So you want to look at either your payroll, if you receive things such as like child support or other things coming inside of the home, maybe disability or whatever the case may be. All income that comes in the household, you need to figure out what that number is. So take some time to discuss it. Make sure that you calculate it, add it up, because this is so important. This is something that you need to discuss in your budget meeting, and this is something that you need to put either if you're using a budget software or either doing it by pen and paper.
Now, after you figured out the income, we got to talk about the expenses. Where is the money going? So you can take a look back at your bills to see if you have an average you spend on electricity, an average you spend on groceries, an average you spend on gas. You need to look at every aspect of your spending. So that means you're going to have to pull out the information in regards to your bank accounts to see where the transactions are leading. You're going to have to pull out, if you have credit cards, see where those transactions are going. And you're going to have to now categorize where you have been spending your money. You may, as you dig into the numbers, see that you might be overspending in one area and need to curtail that and make a different projection for the month that you're going into to try to bring unnecessary expenses down. Another thing, are there things that you need to cut out completely, not just reduce, but maybe cut out totally? So take a very hard look at your expenses, because the goal between looking at your income and your expenses is to find margin. Margin is the difference between how much is coming in and how much is going out. Hopefully we have a positive margin where we're not spending more than we're making. But if we are spending more than what we're making, then we definitely need to have conversations about cuts and reductions.
That's right. And a helpful tip when thinking about your expenses, yes, you need to definitely look at your credit card statements, your bank statements, and things like that. But also, this may change from month to month. Right now, currently, it's summer months, right? And if your children are out of school, this needs to be something that you need to talk about. Are there some summer expenses, such as camps or activities that they like to do and things like that? Expenses can fluctuate from month to month. This is why it's so important that you make sure that you have a meeting every single month, because your expenses can change from month to month as well. So these are things that you want to talk about, conversations that you want to talk about. One of the expenses that everyone should have in their budget is that of life insurance. This is an opportunity to introduce you to this video sponsor, Legal & General America. If you're looking for term life insurance, or if you currently are underinsured, maybe you need to pick up more insurance, definitely check out Legal & General America by going to hisandhermoney.com/LGA. The links will also be in the description box below. You can get a free quote, no obligation. You can also fill out your application by yourself online if you would like, or if you would like to speak with someone, you can speak with someone as well too. But you can get a free quote by going to hisandhermoney.com/LGA. You guys, this is an expense that should be non-negotiable in every household. You need to have life insurance in place. One of the things, especially while you're looking over your finances, such as your income and your expenses, this should remind you that if something was to happen to you, you want to make sure that your family is covered. Those that are looking to you to be able to provide for them, you guys, you all don't skip this step. It's so important. Life insurance is not expensive whatsoever. And so just get informed. Make sure that you go to hisandhermoney.com/LGA to learn more. After you looked at all of that, you need to also now look at your giving, you guys. Giving is so very important. As a matter of fact, this is something that we push up close in our budget meeting. So this is in no particular order, you guys, at all, these 8 tips that we're giving you. But giving should be a part of your monthly budget meetings, right? And it should be a part of your monthly budget. You should be giving every single month. For us, we give to our church. We give our tithe, our offering to our local church. You can give to charity. Also, we also look for opportunities to be able to be a blessing to other people. Maybe it's not necessarily going to an organization, but maybe we want to help a family member or a friend, or just give sporadically. So giving should be a major part in your budget meetings every single month.
This is huge, right? This never left our plan. In times where we had plenty and in times where we didn't, we always gave. We really, truly believe in the biblical principle that you reap what you sow. So maybe you can't give this massive amount. You can give something. You can put some seed in the ground in some situation, even if it's time, giving of yourself. We just really encourage you, while you're going through this process, make sure that you incorporate giving. So part of this process is you want to create or revisit short and long-term goals. Because again, you're doing this not just for the here and now, but for the creation of a better future. So talk about, if you haven't, if this is going to be initial goal set up, talk about some things that you want to get done this year, things that you want to get done next year, 5, 10 years from now, and put those things down. And if you already have goals, this is a great time to look at the progress that you're making, or the lack thereof, toward those goals, and what adjustments need to be made in order to do so. Allow yourself to dream. That's a big part of goal setting. It's not creating goals with limitations on your mind. So allow yourself to dig deep within yourself. What is God given you a vision for in the future. Write those things down, make it a part of your plan, because those become targets that fuel what you're doing in the creation of your budget month to month, because you're aiming at a target.
Now, the way that this may look in your budget, it may look like sinking funds. So for us in our personal budget, you guys are going to invite you all in a little bit. We have short and long-term goals, and we usually curate a sinking fund for that. So we have one for auto. We know that one day we're going to have to buy a new vehicle, right? Because we buy our vehicles in cash. And so that's a goal of ours. And so we create a line item in our budget that says auto fund, right? Or car fund. And we also have a bank account that's strictly titled auto fund or car fund. And so we look at our budget every single month and we figure out how much money can we put into this account to save for our long-term goal. We also do this for short-term goals. Again, our children, we know that our children are out for the summers. And so we have a specific line item in our budget for short-term goals as far as for the summer for them, right? So every single month we need to be putting money aside to be able to allow them to do certain activities and things like that, whether or not they want to learn swimming or basketball or cheerleading, whatever it is. You want to make sure that you look at your short and long-term goals and that you have a line item in your budget for those goals. It's very important.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this, but Christmas is on December 25th every single year. So that might be a short-term goal. Put some money away every single month so that when the holiday season arrives, you're not scrambling or you're not putting yourself in debt to start the new year.
Another way, in order to have a successful budget meeting with your spouse every single month, you need to have a debt update. This should be included in your budget, right? Every single month. If you are currently carrying debt, you need to make sure that you have that in your budget, right? And you need to allocate funds to go up to paying off your debt. So the way that it looked like when we did have debt in our lives, when we were paying off our mortgage, we would do like an update. So it'd be like a monthly update. We were able to apply this much amount of money towards our principal this month, so which we were able to pay down our mortgage by this percentage, right? We gave ourselves update in the area of our debt. How are we doing, right? Are we paying off our debt? Can we pay off more this month? What worked well? What did not work well? Do we need to pick up a side hustle in order to attack this debt? So debt updates should be very, very important and should be included within your budget.
In addition to updating on your debt, let's talk about wealth. What strategies can we do to start to build wealth? Whether that's contributing to your company's 401k, maybe you open up an IRA of your own, and you need to be allocating some percentage of this money towards building wealth, because if you don't invest for your future, no one will. We love to take and teach a blended approach to your future. So yeah, you should be putting money towards your debt, but you also should be putting money towards your future in the form of investments as well.
That's right. So you should be updating yourself about this every single month. Look at your portfolio. Say, hey, how much money were we able to put into our wealth building accounts this month? Did they do well? How are they performing? This is the opportunity where you would be able to discuss this area. So these are just 8 tips to help you have a successful budget meeting with your spouse. You guys, there's a whole lot more. If you all enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to hear more tips and more steps in order to have a successful budget meeting, let us know in the comment section below. Let us know in the comment section below, what are some ways or some things that you do in your monthly budget meeting? Or if you're not currently having a monthly budget meeting, will you have one this month? We want you to be accountable. Let us know, Tanya Talent. Yes, I plan to sit down with my spouse. I plan to sit down and go over our finances this month.
Remember, if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. So it's important that you guys put the plan in motion for your financial future.
You guys.
That's all we got for this time, guys. It's been great. Until next time, peace.
Bye, y'all.